reason for it.
Yep, no, it's and Familia just doesn't care. And even the day before, when he was in a non-save situation, I'm like, oh, this doesn't bode well. But we're at the top of the hour, so let's do this. We'll be right back on 90.3 WHPC Sports Talk with special guest Rob Rill on his last Saturday ever Medal for the Masses. So let's do the Sports Legal ID right now.
Want more sports? We have more sports. Check out all of the sports offered on the Voice of Nassau Community College.
From the press box, Monday mornings at 9.
The home stretch, Monday afternoons at 5.
Beyond the Game, Tuesday afternoons at 5 and Friday afternoons at 3.
And Sports Talk, Thursday evenings at 9.
We've got the sports you care about covered on the Voice of Nassau Community College.
90.3 WHPC.
WHPC HD, Garden City.
Available on the iHeartRadio app.
This show on WHPC is brought to you by the Long Island Nets, who are hosting the first Long Island Nets Hoop Fest 3x3 tournament on August 25th and 26th at NYCB Live, home of the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. All skill levels are welcome to play. Not playing? There's plenty for you too, including a festival full of activities like bounce houses, food trucks, a sneaker show, and much more. More information can be found at longislandnets.com.
You're tuned into Long Island's only FM sports voice. This is Sports Talk on 90.3 WHPC.
And we're back right here on 90.3 WHPC, Garden City, New York. The show is called Sport Talk. We're here every Thursday evening, 100% commercial free, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. every Thursday evening on 90.3 WHPC. My name is Chris Muldoon. His name is Cameron Bonagura. His name is Mark Talkidikowski. And right there, a special guest who has his last Medal for the Masses after 11 years.
I know.
This Saturday night at midnight. Mr. Rob Rill, Mets fan extraordinaire.
What's up, everybody?
Bad year for
I know. They're not coming back. They need to dump the entire team. Trade everybody.
Oh, but now they got now they have Omar Minaya back in the GM fold.
I wish that the radio can convey the look on my face right now.
I can't believe, it's just to show how tone deaf the Wilpons are and everything in terms of, hey guys, our new GM is Omar Minaya. it's like
well,
what?
The one thing I will give Minaya credit for is he always had the ability to scout and sign really, really good talent from like the Dominican Republic and Central America.
Scout, yeah.
He did have a great eye for that, and
Correct.
that supposedly is what he's handling with the Mets.
Right. He's also
what's his name? Riccio is supposed to handle the day-to-day.
Yeah.
Ricciardi is handling the finances, and Minaya is handling the scouting and development department.
Because the thing is, they're all going to talk to their friends who work elsewhere, and they'll all come back with deals for Familia. And it'll be like, all right, who's we going with? Because everyone loves their deal. It's like you love, I got this from my buddy here. I got this from my buddy here. It's like, well, how are you going to agree? Jeffy Wilpon's going to step in and say, oh, great. Yeah, terrific.
Well, I feel like he's going to be running the whole show.
He is. Absolutely.
That's going to be his deal. They're all going to be reporting to him.
Meanwhile, Sandy Ellison was put with the Mets because Major League Baseball went and said, hey, we can't make you sell like we did the Dodgers because they're not friends with us. Bud Selig was friends with the Wilpons. He wasn't friends with the Irish guy who owned the Dodgers.
McCourt.
McCourt. So he made him trade them, sell that team. But with Wilpons, like, all right, but you're bringing in Sandy Alderson, who at the time was working for MLB, and Sandy Alderson never gets the credit he deserves for he's the architect of Moneyball. Mm-hmm. It's just that Billy Beane was this handsome guy and could be played by Brad Pitt.
But can we talk about how Moneyball never really did anything?
How many championships the Athletics had?
Right. Wasn't that their great quote? Well, the playoffs are a crapshoot. That was always their line.
I could give Moneyball props for the simple fact that it basically brought analytics to the forefront of baseball.
Yep.
And analytics has really changed the way the game has been played and has been managed for the last 10 years. But Moneyball in and of itself is really more about walks and home runs.
Right.
Walks and home runs.
Yeah, no stolen bases.
And Sandy Alderson has built the Mets off of the Moneyball principle, walks and home runs, and young power pitching, which is all well and fair on paper, but that recipe didn't work for the Oakland Athletics for all those years.
It worked for players who extended their careers like Scott Hatterberg.
Yeah, exactly. And even guys, there's a couple of guys like Chris Davis. There are guys right now. There's some guys have a great year for the A's. Who's a really good player having a good year?
Oh, Jed Lurie?
Yeah, exactly.
He's on my fantasy team.
Exactly.
He was like the 10th highest scorer in my fantasy league this year
and
for
it's
the first 2 months.
Wow, okay, guys who have just been able to resurrect their career on the cheap, but still can, when given, like Ben Zobrist did. There's a guy who the Rays developed and now with the Cubs, and made crazy money and won the World Series and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the A's are and the A's became also a funnel for other teams anyway. They just became a trading.
For the Yankees.
What do the Yankees need? That's what it became. What do you need, guys?
Yeah, but I mean that's what they were when they were the Kansas City Athletics in the '60s. Getting Roger Maris,
and it was made fun of. Like, that was literally the Kansas City Athletics fed the Yankees.
Was the Yankees
anybody that they wanted.
squad,
exactly, whatever they wanted. So.
But I guess my whole point is that I feel terrible for Sandy Alderson. Nobody wishes cancer upon anybody.
Mickey Callaway said it as a badass Marine.
Yeah,
he said it right.
Here's my one problem. They said that he was diagnosed in like April. Right. So he's been dealing with this for like a couple months.
Yep. Well, I think what happened was you saw a few things this week. You saw when Mike Vaccaro, of all people in the Post, wrote like an article saying he's got to go. That's when this happened.
Yeah.
In terms of like he saw the writing on the wall. He stinks. He's got to go.
Yeah, the Wilpons didn't even have to fire him.
When he first started to get blamed, and this was this week, that was it. It was before it was no. This guy has built an ill-advised team with old players. Even when the free agent signing period opened up, he locked in all his money to Swarzak right away.
Swarzak, Jay Bruce,
and it was Jay Bruce. Wait a second.
Jay Bruce was looked at like he was some kind of team-friendly deal,
right?
And then the market never appeared.
And we
in the
forget before the Mets got Cespedes that year, it was failed attempts for Jay Bruce and Carlos Gomez that had happened. Obviously, the Carlos Gomez was the Wilmer Flores crying thing. But Jay Bruce was the first guy they tried to get. So they've loved him he's been the apple of their eye forever.
Excuse me.
I don't, and I do think he's hurt. I think plantar fasciitis, I have it. It's just so painful. He can't do his thing, and he's a gamer, and he played with it, which was unlike Cespedes, who doesn't play with it. I mean, Cespedes does give you his all out when he's out there, but
here's my thing with Cespedes right now. I'm over Cespedes. I'm over like this whole team. I want to trade DeGrom now because his value will never be higher.
30 years
never
old.
be higher.
They love him.
I know. I love him too. Yeah. He's awesome. He's an ace. He's probably one of the best pitchers in baseball this year. But you will never get a better package for him than you will right now when he is pitching like a Cy Young Award winner with 2.5 years of control at I think he's owed $7 million for the rest of the year this year. And then he's got 2 more arbitration years. I mean, he's obviously going to see a raise.
He never complains. The team is falling around him, never complains. Call here on Sports Talk.
How you doing? It's Brian from Florida.
Brian from Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for calling.
Yeah, I went to Nassau. I grew up by Eisenhower. I went to Clark High School. So I listened to you guys on my Android. I wanted to talk about the Yankees a little bit.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I think the person for the Yankees is A.J. Happ from the Toronto Blue Jays.
They keep saying that.
He's the guy, but it requires an intra-division deal. So we also know what Jay Happ has done as a player, as a pitcher. He's a known quantity. He's been, especially Mets fans, because we saw him all the time with the Phillies and stuff. He's an up and down kind of guy. He's not what you're seeing this year.
He's been very good this year, and he was very good last year too.
Yeah. So maybe he's found himself in Toronto.
Hey, you know what happens? Some of those pitchers, they learn how to pitch in their late 20s, early 30s.
You get smarter.
Even if your stuff starts diminishing a little bit, you learn how to pitch with what you have,
I just don't know if the Blue Jays are going to trade with the Yankees.
It's happened before, but I would agree that I don't really see it happening.
In 2015, Ray Searage.
Well, Brian Cashman is very adept at three-way deals as well, so if he has to do something like that where the Blue Jays don't feel like they're trading directly to the Yankees, that will happen.
Right, and also there's a kid from St. John's that's on, I believe his name is Garrett. He's a lefty. I've been watching the Reds there. I think.
Amir Garrett.
Amir Garrett,
the former basketball player.
Yeah. That's the thing though. So let's think about what the Yankees need for the playoffs. They've got a 1 in Severino, right? Do they have a 2? Because you need 3 pitchers.
Nope.
So Tanaka's back. I think Tanaka will be fine. I think he'll be healthy. I don't trust Sabathia to be healthy, but I do think Tanaka will be healthy. So they've got 2, and Sonny Gray
is trash.
They're not. Speaking of A's, and
he's trash. Dude, he's so toast.
So what do the Yankees need to acquire? A 2 or a 3, right? For this.
Exactly.
So you're in the playoffs. Do you trust Jay Happ in the playoffs? Does he have any playoff experience?
That I don't know. He's been a solid starter the last couple years. I can't really hate on him. As a number 3 starter, if they got him for I don't know, 3 prospects not named Justice Sheffield or Clint Frazier, it's probably a win for the Mets, or for the Yankees.
That's the thing, though, in terms of this guy. You've got Tanaka, you've got Sabathia, you've got Sonny Gray. They have some semblance of postseason experience, sort of. I mean, Sonny Gray's been on a winning team in the Yankees for the past year and a half, but do you have to go and get somebody? Like, is it going to be, everyone's talking Hamels, right? Is it going to be him? Yeah. He's got postseason experience. Did he ever win a Cy Young? I mean, he had some great years.
I don't think he ever won a Cy Young.
So, but he's won a World Series, I guess, with the Phillies.
With the Phillies more. Yeah. He was a good pitcher with the Phillies. Hamels.
Did Haplin with the Phillies? Was he on that team too?
I got to check.
So, I mean, that's
he pitched with the Phillies.
But I'm wondering if he was on. I mean, when the Phillies won the World Series, the great Chase Utley years, that was before 2010. So that was.
I think that he was. No. For some reason, I'm thinking he had something to do with the Cliff Lee deal.
Okay.
Like he was traded to Seattle for Cliff Lee at one point. I could be way off.
I'm just bothered by the fact that they call him Jay when it's really just
He was never on Seattle.
So J-Hab was never on Seattle?
No. Phillies, Houston, Toronto, Pittsburgh for 1 year. Oh, he actually was with Seattle. Was 2015.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think.
So even then, he was reduced to Seattle 2 years ago. So this reclamation project has come in the last 2 years because he's. I just don't.
Can I also bring up a point? Jason Shreve, I'm a little tired.
Yankee fans hate him, but I don't think he's that bad.
To get lefties in, he can't get lefties out. My idea is, how about bringing Justice Sheffield now? He's pitching pretty well with Scranton, and put him in place of just a lefty to lefty, because Jason Shreve is I watched the games against Tampa.
I don't think Sheffield is ready yet. You're starting the clock on paying him, sort of, aren't you? But
Sheffield's a starter.
But you
can't turn him into a situational lefty after he's been starting for a half year in the minors.
Stud, and now you're reducing him. I mean, there are teams, aren't there, guys? There's certain teams who had that. I think the Cardinals had that, where they would bring a guy up who's a stud starter, have him do middle relief, then make him a starter the next year, like Adam Wainwright, whatever they did. But the Yankees don't do that. Sheffield is too good to. Also, you don't want to expose him this early because he is still one of your best. If you ever need to trade him, he's one of your best trade chips. Once you expose him, like Dominic Smith and Ahmed Rosario, and I think Ahmed Rosario is going to be a good pro, but Dominic Smith and Ahmed, when they were just these pieces of paper where everyone said, oh, wait till these guys, Peter Alonso right now, wait till these guys get to the pros. Well, when they get to the pros, they get exposed because they're young. I mean, they're young and it's early, and it's a small sample size.
I don't understand what they've been raving about, and I saw him a couple of times on the dish here. Chance Adams. I don't know what happened to him. I mean, is he injured, or I don't hear anything? He was supposed to be in the Yankees' top prospect.
He has not been good this year.
It's another
He's been getting hit a lot, and I think he was in Double-A this year, and he's been bad.
One of the things that happens is if there are no spots for you at the big league, if you see no path to playing at the big league level, that's got to bother you as well, in terms of you see that you're blocked somewhere, or they're not going to. I mean, the Yankees are. Who are they looking at? They're looking at veterans from somewhere else, right? They're not even looking down. They're looking elsewhere. So that's got to bother you, too, when you know that no matter what you do, you're not going to make the big team. Because Tanaka was a free agent. Sabathia was a free agent. Sonny Gray was a trade. Severino's the only...
Severino's the only homegrown guy.
Yeah, and so...
Well, I guess
I like the young kid that pitched the other night. I really like him a lot. And I have an idea. I think Domingo Germán eventually is going to be in the bullpen.
And again, but
he was in the bullpen before he was like a spot starter, know.
And again, Germán and Severino, while they are developed, or they're not drafted, so they're just highest bidder kind of guys. So even developing them is all you're doing is paying them to come here. Okay, you're going to be good. I'll pay you more money than anyone else. Want to play for the Yankees? Come play for us, kind of thing. But
what do you think about the kid from Cincinnati? The Yankees could make a little trade, couple of minor leagues to Cincinnati, because they're not going anywhere, and pick up that kid that went to St. John's.
But he doesn't cost the Reds anything. So I mean, I always like to say the Reds are trying to win too. We know it's not true, but they are trying. They're in business, right? So they're not in the charity business, so they're not going to help the Yankees because he doesn't. if you get rid of him,
the league minimum. He got called up in the middle of last year.
You're only hurting yourself because you got him cheap and he's performing well, and you're not alleviating yourself of a contract burden like you would be with a Hamels or something like that. You're just merely.
Well, who do you guys think the Yankees are going to get? You think it's going to be Hamels?
I think
it's going to be Hap. I think it's going to be Hap.